How do you handle form submissions in the JAMstack? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I use KwesForms in my YouTube for Developers landing page for you to submit questions to me that I will then go and answer in my upcoming ebook. All right, so I kind of referenced the ebook here. If you haven't heard me talk about this on Twitter yet, one, you should go and follow me on Twitter. But if not, at YouTubeForDevelopers.com, I have an ebook that I am selling what is tomorrow, but by the time you watch this, maybe it's already out. So officially coming out on October 7th is the Developer's Guide to Starting a YouTube Channel. And in this ebook, I want to show you basically all the things that I've learned in creating YouTube videos, and most importantly, how it can help your career and the benefits that you can get, how you can add stuff to your resume, the things that you will learn, all of that sort of stuff. I really want to share that with you. So I figured as part of this launch, I would add a form section down here for you to submit questions. And at the end of the ebook, I will have a miscellaneous questions section where I will answer questions from you. If you go and check out YouTubeForDevelopers.com, fill in the form here, I will go and answer those and put them in the ebook. So just to show you really quickly what this looks like, this is a basic form, as you would imagine. And in here, I can say something like, how is it typing while you record a video? So this will be the form submission. I click submit on this. It says, thanks for submitting. It will wipe out the form here in a second. Looks like that is good to go. And then back in the Kwes dashboard, I can refresh and see that submission just came through. Another thing that this will do, there's the submission. Another thing that it will do is it will send me an email. So I don't know how much you want to see my actual email stuff on there, but I can get the email notification saying that someone just submitted to my form. So Kwes has built in kind of when you start up or in create a form, it will walk you through the 6 steps you need to do to incorporate that into your site. That's what we're going to walk through in this video, and I'll show you how to do it all. Go and check out YouTubeForDevelopers.com, and I hope you enjoy Kwes. All right, so if you follow any of my content, you probably know that I'm a big fan of the JAMstack and serverless functions, and I do a lot in that area. And so most of the demos and sites that I've built recently don't have a traditional server. I don't have like a node server that I deploy on DigitalOcean or Heroku or something. If I need backend functionality, most of the time I'll just create the serverless function myself. So I wanted to start by just talking about what's the use case for using Kwes or another form service in general before we actually dive into how to do it. And let's say you're building basically a landing page for some sort of product, and most of it you can just do with regular HTML, CSS, and maybe a little bit of JavaScript. That's really nice. And after you have that ready, you can deploy it somewhere on a static host like Netlify. It'll be super fast, really easy deployment process, all that sort of stuff. But let's say you get to a point where you want some sort of input from the user. If you're a restaurant owner and you want to take submissions for the coolest new dish to put out, or like whatever your random thing is, you need some way to handle that form. And one option that people do is they add like a little email icon. You can click on the email icon or a link and it will take them to their actual like email application on their computer, and they can email that way. And that's not the best experience because it actually takes the user away from your site. So in theory, you want to keep people, I would like to keep people on my site, handle the form submissions, and then have a nice way to be notified that something was actually submitted. So that's where Kwes comes in. That's the specific reason why Kwes exists. And I think a lot of agencies have really kind of fallen in love with Kwes because it's easy for them to add that backend functionality of accepting form input without actually having to deploy a server. Again, that same kind of use case. So Kwes is super cool for that use case, and I wanted to talk through a little bit of their features. One, on their how it works page, it'll show you how it works and how to walk through it. We'll see that here in a second. It's a very lightweight JavaScript file, so you pull this import, and then you're kind of ready to go for the most part. And if you look down here, you can use this with vanilla JavaScript or any of your favorite frameworks. It's pretty easy to incorporate. Again, we'll see that in a second. And they've got some really powerful features depending on the plan that you're on of multi-step forms. Building multi-step forms can be a real hassle. Built-in date pickers, conditional logic, repeater fields, doing credit cards, all sorts of stuff. So they've really got kind of the form thing just really nailed. And that's the use case here is I can now deploy my site, a JAMstacky site or just a static site, and not have to worry about having an entire backend or even setting up serverless functions myself. to handle this sort of stuff. One of the big things that they do is spam filtering, so they can filter out spam messages, and that won't eat at your quota of the amount of submissions that you can take. And actually, I think the quota is unlimited, so that doesn't matter, but they will protect you so you don't get spammed, and that's a huge thing. So that's the general idea. I think it's probably time for us to just go ahead and take a look. So I mentioned that on my YouTube for Developers landing page, I wanted to take questions from users. So I've got like the intro section here, the little buy button, and then a section for, hey, do you have a question? Well, let's start with going into Kwes, and I'll come back to the pricing here in a minute, but inside of Kwes, I can go to my dashboard. I don't have any websites created, so I'll start with creating a website, and this will be my YouTube for Developers site. And this is basically just an arbitrary name at that point. Then we have the name of the form, again, kind of an arbitrary name. And this will be YouTube questions, for example. Notice I've done this before. And I'll enable the spam filters, again, to kind of protect myself there. And when that finishes, now it's going to walk through and show me how to actually do this. So this is really nice. Now, one thing that I missed before is this script tag. When you import this, make sure this goes right before the ending closing tag. So all of your DOM elements have been loaded before this JavaScript is loaded. That way it will be able to pick up on which forms you're using inside of your doc. So going to copy this thing. And actually, I think it's already in this piece of code. But what this code is it's a pretty straightforward. Actually, I took it out. Good. So this is how I'm doing the landing page for that site, and it's using Parcel as a bundler so that I can use Tailwind as my CSS. And if you're new to Tailwind, it's a utility-based framework, so I'll add all of these different classes to style it, but that just takes care of the styling for me, and I can just use these utility classes. So that's how we're doing it. And then Bundle is just kind of bundling, or Parcel is bundling this stuff and serving it at this port of 1234. So let me scroll down right before the body, and I'll go ahead and import the tag. So we've got that done. And then next up, and I think this is really cool how they walk you through this step by step, we will create a form, and I'm going to go through a couple of steps and then just copy this. So you create a form with a class of KwesForm. That's how the JavaScript knows that that's a form for Kwes. The next one is to add the action. So where is it going to submit the stuff to? Well, it's going to submit to this endpoint. All right, that sounds good. And then the next part is you add some input. So this is your basic form stuff. Nothing unique here. This is just your straightforward form. And the next part is to add some validation. So let me go ahead and add this inside of my application. So in my section here below the H1, I'll just add that form. And I just copied and pasted that entire thing. And if we look, this will not look so good, but there is the name input and then the submit button. I have to add some styling with Tailwind for this to look better, but for now that will do. So in Kwes, it says, all right, next is good. Now it's waiting for the first submission. So we're going to, in testing, basically do a submission here, and everything will be connected up with Kwes and will basically be good to go. So back inside of here, it's actually giving me some messages here to let me know, one, that this thing needs to be connected to the domain. And then two, it's giving me the validation message here of the field as required. That's actually really nice. So I will, let's say, I'll say James, that validation message goes away, and then I can click submit. This is going to take us over to Kwes. Now, because this is the first time, it's trying to connect to that domain. So it knows which domains to accept data from. This is my testing domain, obviously. So I'm going to set this as a testing domain, and this should be up and good to go. And this will take me to back to my site here. So here it is. And it says this is in test mode again for us to know. And if we look back inside of our documentation here, now we can view submissions, and now we see that thing right there. This also sent me an email. I won't pull up my personal email on here, but it sent me an email to show me that I had a form submission. So right then, this is basically more or less or really close to all I need for my site, but I want to add a few more things. So I'm going to take what's in here and I'm going to change it out a little bit. So we'll leave the form, and I am going to copy and paste a little bit. So I apologize if that's annoying to you, but I don't want to type out all these classes because the focus of this is not on Tailwind, it's on Kwes. So I'm pasting in here this is from React. So this should be just a for. So this is the question that people want to ask, and it's got the styling here. So where's the question that people want to ask? And that looks good. I can also add in the same kind of thing for the name if people want to. So I'm going to wrap this in a class of MB4. That's margin bottom 4 in Tailwind speak, I guess is how you want to say it. So there's the name, and that'll be optional. And then we'll also add one more, and we'll update this one to be the email. So this name will be email, and this will be optional as well. So we'll put email there and email here. So this now in my page should kind of look like a regular form. Actually, it's not all that great. What am I missing in here? And I'm sure React developers can relate to this. I copied in some code that has class name instead of class. So let's update from class name to class. Let's get all of those settled. And hopefully now this is looking more like a real form. So there we go. So we've got name, email, and the question, and I can type all the stuff in and go ahead and submit this. And I should have a successful submission. So it says, thanks for completing our form. It stays on the site, which is really nice. And anyway, so that looks pretty cool. So let's take a look at some of the validation in here. If we open up the Kwes documentation, go ahead and open that up, and let's look at form validation. So some of our validation rules, and look at all of these validation rules that are built in. So one of the questions I had about Kwes originally was, how does this compare to like some of the built-in validation rules in HTML? Well, there's a ton more. So that's actually really helpful. So let's look at a few examples over here. So if we want to come back to the required, so required is, as you would probably expect, just required. So let's go into our input and let's say rules equals required. And let's come back and refresh our form. And we saw this one earlier, but if I don't have anything in here, now I get the validation messages here, as well as the highlighting of the input and the field as required. Now, another thing, let's say we don't want to make this email optional. So let's actually get rid of that rule. And let's come down to email, and let's not say this is optional. Let's say this is actually required. So we'll say rules equals required. And let's see if there's something that Kwes can help us with in this case. So let's look at email. And this should be a way to check this. So the cool thing is I can just add rules including email. And in this case, I think the confirmation is for the confirm email. So I think we can just do rules equals email. So instead of required, we'll say email. And let's come back over to the form, and I'll type something in here, and that should say that this email address is not valid. And if I start to say james.q, that shouldn't be valid. And then .quick@gmail.com. Hey, now that thing goes away. Now that's built-in functionality with Kwes that just takes care of this stuff for us. And one of the things that I forgot to show you is if we have these validation messages that come from Kwes, we also have the full ability to customize these. So if we look at this form input, for example, there's lots of different classes from Tailwind, but this last one here is the KW border error. So that's the styling that comes from Kwes. If we get rid of that, that thing will go away. So what we can do is we could write our own classes, or what you could do is write your own classes on top of that. So that is the example of the border error class. And then you have the little small message below, and it has a couple of classes as well. So in this case, this has an ID of field error email, and that's based on the name of that input. So the name of the input is email. So it'll be the ID will be field-error-email. And then those messages in general will have the message down here with a class of KW Kwes field error message. So with KW border error, KW field error message, and then the ID of these things, we can handle those and style those any way we want. Although I think they look great out of the box. The last thing we can look at is the message up here. So one of these alert errors. So there's KW alert. So that's going to be the general styling. Notice that this one is yellow, this one is red. Well, that comes in with the KW alert error, which will be your error, the red one, and then the warning, which will be your yellow ones. So I did want to make sure to emphasize that with these validation messages and outlines and things that Kwes does for you, you can also customize those as much as you want by just adding some CSS to your application. Now, again, like I don't want to spend a ton of time going through and showing a bunch of these things, but these validation rules, all these different ones that they give you is actually really nice. And you can also get into some cool logic. I haven't done this myself, but required if or unless or with, and you can do this like in comparison with other things. So this like multi-step form idea, they really got this thought out and can really help you there. So one of the last things I want to show you is like after the submission, how do I maybe customize what shows up there? And so you can customize your success message right here. So here's the success message property on the form. So I can come into the form here and paste this in and say, good job. Yeah, thanks a lot. Whatever. That's kind of an awkward statement, but just as a demo here. So we'll type in a name, which is optional, the email there, the question, and then submit, and it says, yeah, thanks a lot. So that flash message is there. And then we were able to control that just with that little tag in there. So I think overall Kwes is pretty optimized for building not just forms, not just handling forms, but relatively complex ones. And one of the things I didn't mention that I forgot about is that form validation happens on both the front end as well as the back end. So this is one of the things that I've talked about before in videos and that you need to keep in mind is even if you add validation on your forms in the front end, you still have to have validation on your server to make sure that someone doesn't go through Postman, for example, and send a request directly to your server. Kwes handles that. So it'll do validation on front end and back end. It will do the spam protection. You can customize your emails. You can even take like file inputs. Do I have the form components in here? They've got some built-in ones, date picker, for example, and then file uploads. That's actually really nice. And you can handle those files and have them emailed to you as well, which is pretty cool. So all in all, like in the JAMstack where you don't want to have a server, you don't want to maintain a server, you could build a serverless function. And I've done that in some cases, but this is actually really nice too, to just use Kwes that's already kind of built in to support a lot of different things and give you lots of functionality, including that spam stuff. So let's go over, I want to show you the pricing here for Kwes. Let me open up, let's just search for Kwes pricing. I want to show you a couple of different tiers here, and then I'll let you in on the coupon code that's in the description below for you to get a discount on this. So the free plan, you can have one website, 50 spam blocks, and then unlimited submissions, forms, and data retention. So you can use this for your site and take in as much information as you want. That's super powerful. You can test this locally like we are. Tampering protection I didn't get into, but basically like kind of taking the state of your form and putting it into memory so it can't be messed with by changing the validation rules in the HTML, for example. So I do that. That's really interesting. I hadn't even thought about that. You get the basic form validation, but you don't get them all. So some of the upgrades that you get with the starter is all the validation rules. You can do the file uploads, multi-step forms, repeater fields, date pickers, those like next level things that you might want to do with forms, you can do in that starter tier. And there you can go on and look into more of these, but inside of the starter, this is $29 a month right now versus the free is the personal one for one website. Starter is $3, and you get all those features, and there's also the agency one. But with this, or with watching this video, I've got a coupon code for James50 that will give you 50% off one of these plans, either the starter or the agency, for an entire year. So you can start out with a personal tier. You can use the coupon code below the James50, and you can sign up for a starter or an agency tier and get 50% off of their offering for an entire year. If you don't like it after a year, you could build your serverless function your own, but I bet at that point you realize how powerful and cool Kwes is. Now, this is especially true like if you're doing any like contract or freelancing work. This might be good, again, in the agency world, where you can now like reuse Kwes instead of building out your own logic to do forms in different sites. So on the agency side, you get up to 10 websites. So it's really worth investing in, I think, if you have multiple clients as you're running at a time. So all in all, I was really amazed when I first saw this. I got an introduction to Kwes and I didn't really know what to expect. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw that was here. Thought it was really interesting. Again, I'm capable of building serverless functions myself, but there's some extra things in here that are really nice. So give it a shot. Try it out and let me know if you do what you think of it. I would love to see what you think and then pass any feedback back to the Kwes team so that they can make their product even better. As always, thanks for checking out the video and I'll catch you in the next one.